Mr. Pradeep wants to know that he is 65, his wife is 63, and they have fully invested in PMVY and SCSS, that is Pradhan Mantri Varishta Bima Yojana and Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, and they are getting about 40,000 per month, and we are middle class family, no EMI, no rent, and we have another 10-15 lakhs of we have 10 lakhs of health insurance and own residential accommodation. And is this sufficient for another 10 to 15 years? Now he's got 60 lakhs invested, and he has not spoken about any other investment. 60 lakhs over 15-20 years is really tight, assuming, because what will happen is after a few years you will start withdrawing from your capital. Right now you're getting 5 lakhs. I'm assuming you were not paying any tax because you have split it between husband and wife. So luckily there is no taxation involved, and I'm assuming going forward again there will be no taxation involved. However, inflation is going to be a spoil sport. So after a few years, maybe after 5 years, you will start withdrawing from your capital. Now how much you withdraw, how fast you withdraw, that is something which is going to depend on the inflation rate and the amount of money that you spend generally. I mean, if you take a vacation, don't take a vacation, depending on all that. If there is any illness and which is not covered by insurance, right? So if you have to employ a maid to look after yourself or your wife or something like that, so those kind of expenses are not covered by medical insurance. So those things will mean you will dip into your capital. So if you ask me, it is very tight. You have not said about any index pension or rent or anything, so your interest is not inflation adjusted, so you will get the same amount of interest, or at worst going down. You have to live on that, and you have to, which means what you can do now is, if you have got any surplus, put it into some equity scheme. Hopefully after 10 years you will be able to withdraw from that equity scheme and supplement your income. So right now put into a index fund, growth option, and let the money be there for another 10-12 years, and after that when you need, you can remove that, and that will give you a protection against inflation. Withdrawing from the capital may be okay only at the age of 80 for you, because your wife is 2 years younger, she will be 78. There's a decent chance that she lives till 90, 92. At that stage, let her finish the capital. I mean, if both of you are there, so don't touch your capital till the age of 80. Try to live on income. Reduce your standard of living if possible. Thank you. Subra, I have a question relating to options to park my funds post-retirement. This is from Mr. Neeraj. All retirement related posts and books I have read make the point that a realistic inflation figure should be about 8%. However, almost all investment options listed for retirement, like short-term debt funds, PPF, SCSS, POMIS, Pradhan Mantri PMVY offer a post-tax return of less than 8%. So it is a given fact that post-retirement will we all be forced to eat into our savings, and we may not be able to get inflation-beating returns, even if we want to, and if we want to be safe and be passive. Laddering and all is good, but many retired friends may not understand and may not be in a position to manage a concept such as laddering. They will want to opt for something simpler. What do you think is the solution? Well, if inflation is 8%, good chance that all your government schemes will give you 8% return. Currently, I think the government is believing that the inflation is about 6.5-7%. So they are giving you 7% in the National Savings Certificate, PPF, etc. And that's what you can get in these safe, secure government schemes. Maybe you stand a chance if you put money into, say, Mahindra Finance or things like that, where you may get 8.5. Maybe HDFC will give you 8.5, HDFC Limited. But getting beyond 8% is difficult, but hopefully inflation could be lower. Second, since you have invested fully in PMVVY and SCSS, etc., what I suggest is, if you have extra income, start putting that money into equity, so that after some years you will be able to withdraw. Since you have not given your age, I do not know, assuming you're young, assuming you're just 60, let us say you're able to put away 5,000 rupees per month into an index fund for the next 10-12 years. So at the age of 72 or 73, maybe a year in which the markets are doing well, you can remove that and put it into some more other yojanas from which to withdraw. Or if you are a little more confident, you can just stop putting and start withdrawing. You have been putting 5,000 per month from the age of 60 till the age of 72. Now start withdrawing 5,000 per month. That will still work, or at least for the next 15 years, 17 years, and that could be your life expectancy. You need to have some protection against inflation, and that can come only in the form of equity. So if you're younger, if you're say 45, I think I would have suggested you start putting money into equity, maybe 1,000 rupees a month, 2,000 rupees a month, 5,000 rupees a month, because we are talking of 10-15 years earlier. And just keep it as it is. Don't have to withdraw. So in your case also, some money should be in equity, and that you should plan to withdraw only beyond your age of 75. So then you also have time to let that money compound, and you can start withdrawing from that on a regular systematic withdrawal basis, like how you have saving through an SIP, which is a systematic investment plan. Here you could withdraw through a SWP. Thank you. Subra, what will be the ideal investment avenue for the amount that I get as gratuity, leave encashment, PF, some group insurance and commuter pension? That would be about 90 lakhs in total. As per the returns, as the returns in PPF, post office, MIS and senior citizens are reduced, is it worth taking risk and putting money into corporate debt funds? And is it worth continuing my SIPs in equity for half the pension amount? Now this is a good question. His corpus is not too bad, and he has got a government pension, and his government pension is about 44,000, and his personal expenses are much less than that, maybe about 35,000 mein ghar chal jayega. That includes all his outgoes, etc. So he has got an 8,000-9,000 rupees surplus from the pension itself, plus all his other investments. Look at them, they are all interest bearing. None of them he can postpone the income, so he will have to bear the income tax on that, because his pension is not small and his corpus is also not small. 90 lakhs will generate, even assuming about 7%, it will generate some taxable amount, right? So some 6 lakhs if he generates, he will have to pay tax on that. So he has to arrange his affairs in such a way that some money comes to him, some money comes to his wife, and if he has a HUF or something, some money goes there. That is the best way for him to reduce his total taxes. Having said that, if he can postpone, if he can invest in corporate bond funds, the advantage is he can put it into a growth mode and withdraw it only when he needs it. Say he's now just say 60, 62, he's just asking how to invest, so maybe he's not yet got the money. So let us say he's 60 years of age, so at the age of 75 he can decide that he will withdraw money from there. The other thing, of course, because he and his wife might both have taxable income, he has got up to 1.5 lakhs which he can invest in ELSS. So what happens is, let us assume that he puts away 3 lakhs in ELSS between himself and his wife at the age of 60. So at the age of 75, he would have put away, let's say, for 45 lakhs. That's not a small amount of money, as long as he does not touch it. And at 75, he can convert that into, assuming around 75, whatever is, or 76 or 74, whatever his age is. At that stage, he could convert that into a pension, or he could just buy some annuity or something to meet the shortfall. However, since he has a Sarkari index pension, he will never fall very short of the amount of money that he needs from his main pension itself. So I think this is the combination that he can do, and seems to be the best at this stage. So should he do a pension, should he do an SIP with half the pension amount? I'm not sure about what amount he should do, but if he can do about 25,000 a month between the two of them, they'll get their ATC benefit also. So maybe that the amount should be decided by the requirement under ATC rather than an ad hoc number like half the pension amount. Thank you. Subra, I am 44 years of age. My wife is 40 years of age, and after all our adventures, etc., we have only 30 lakhs for retirement, and we realize that we may need much more than this. We have two young children who are right now in secondary school and primary school, right? So, well, for me, this is not an isolated case. Just too many cases of people coming to me when they are in their 40s saying, we have not earmarked any money for retirement. Please understand, it doesn't mean they don't have money. They have not earmarked it for retirement. So they have some money lying in, say, PPF, some National Savings Certificate, etc. वो क्यों है? नहीं, वो तो ऐसे ही ले लिया, टैक्स बचाने के लिए लिया. It doesn't matter क्यों लिया. The question is they have it. But they don't know that that is earmarked for retirement. So I tell them, is this for any other purpose? Say no, बेटी की पढ़ाई के लिए, बेटी की शादी के लिए ना, उसके लिए तो ज़मीन है, वो ज़मीन बेच के हम लाएंगे. So मतलब somewhere else it is being funded. So all this money, like if he is just 44 years of age, he needs money only after 25 years. He needs it at 70. I'm assuming he can work till 60 and then he'll get his PF, etc. So he can really put away for another 25 years, and that is huge. So a small SIP will not hurt. So many people have taken a look at their finances only when the children leave the house and they suddenly realize, oh my God, my nest is empty and my birds have flown away and I have nothing to fall back on. They had no clue that they don't have money, right? At least that is for the earlier generation. But if you are now 45 years of age or 50 years of age and you say, I didn't know I had, I didn't know how that I didn't have enough money for retirement, something is wrong, because just too much of media attention is being given even on retirement. So it is not possible that these ads have not hit you or something has not hit you, right? Everybody does not read a book called Retire Rich, Invest Rupees 40 a day and at the age of 23 and then invest. So what is to be done? Couple is age 44 and another 16 years for the husband and 20 years for the wife to retire. That's not a small number. Try to invest as much as possible. Okay, he has also said I can invest up to 100,000 rupees per month, and wife is doing her own business and will be able to work till she is 70. Children will be out of the house in about 15 years time when they can start saving, investing more, and they are capable, and we are capable of increasing our savings by 5% every year, right? So take a for a couple earning about 1 crore a year and having saved nothing till the age of 45 looks a little funny, but not in the best of situations, and they may have some other investments, etc., which they have not thought of using for their own retirement. Assuming you keep a steady savings rate but see a 5% rise in SIP amount from your salary, and then your ending balances will look much better with 13, 14 years, maybe 15 years of saving and investing. Thank you.